when two lost souls find each other.
Oh, no, ma'am. You and all those plants are getting out of my house.
They will discover the courage to chase their dreams.
Your grandmother said something to me once, and I'll share it with you. Please show a little dignity and respect her wishes.
Singing is the gift God gave me, but my purpose is trying to save the world.
Will their voices be enough?
I told you, I'm not a kitten to be played with.
No, she didn't. Watchers, if you're new here on this channel, I share with you delightful, family-friendly, and faith-based movies and television shows. So yes, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and get started with our special feature today, which is titled The Golden Voices Part 2. And yes, y'all can find this film streaming right now for free on YouTube. So y'all ain't got no excuse. Y'all need to go ahead, since you already here, make some time to watch this film. But first, let me tell y'all what this film is about. The Golden Voices 2 contains the inspiring story of music, faith, and perseverance. Okay, the film follows Sidney Jackson, a talented choir director seeking to revive her career. Y'all, okay? Faith watchers, okay? This got all but faith, all just sprinkled throughout this film, alright? We just went on a journey here, but I have to first, say a couple of things that really it's just added to the ambiance. It just added to my experience, my journey here with these characters, mainly Sidney Jackson here, the main character of this film, and the fact that this actress is the same actress that plays on Steps of Faith. She is Faith. She is Hope's mama, okay? And let me say this, okay? I am still waiting on Hope's journey. All right, y'all put out a season 1 that is on Great American Pure Flex, which I have reviewed. If y'all have not watched that series, please feel free to show back to that video history and pull that up. But yes, I am still waiting on my season 2. I'm just putting it out there to the writers, directors, all of y'all actors and all of that. I am still waiting for my season 2. Okay, I just want to say that because y'all did nothing but brought back memories in this film, because so many different actors are from that sweet, darling, endearing franchise. I'm gonna put it out there because we're gonna speak this, all right? So yes, I was just already in love, like seriously, with the character, because she's from Steps of Faith, all right? Well, I ain't gonna say character, the actress, all right? So already I'm just like, okay, if we can't get you and Hope's journey right now, let's see what you got going on over here. And I have to say, this actress did an amazing job, because I did not see the character Faith. I did not even see none of that on here. This is Sidney here. This is Sidney's story. This is Sidney's journey here. And I was like, wow, the power of acting here. So yes, I want to say that this actress did an amazing job. But let's go ahead and just jump right into this story here. Here we meet Sidney Jackson, and she, as you can tell, well, you're gonna see at the beginning of this film, she is in a very, I would say a very sacred place. It is a place that I feel like we have almost forgotten about in the times that we're living in right now, y'all. And please forgive me if y'all find me long-winded or anything in this video, because I have to do my best, all right? Since we hanging out and I got y'all here, okay? I have to do my best to go ahead and make sure I get everything out. And it was so much stuff that I want to get out. I'm not even sure that I would even remember it all, right? But we're gonna do our best. And yes, I love the fact that the way that this film starts out, it does take us to a very vulnerable place that all of us as people can relate to, because we have all experienced, or at least have been acquainted with, that whole life and death thing, especially being a believer. And how do we deal with that? How do we process that? That can be very uncomfortable. It can be very challenging. And in those times, we could use someone there that really does care about us, that love us, that can hold our hand and walk us through this. And so much of this film deals with a lot of that. It hints at that. It takes us to those places that I feel like in the times that we're living in now that we have somehow forgotten about, or we don't necessarily feel like it's important enough to just take a moment and breathe and be still and recognize and really see someone. And in this film, that's what I feel like the character Sidney needed for herself, but so much more. It was so much deeper than that as well. Yes, I feel like there were so many different things that she needed, and that God wanted to use her to be that same thing that she needed for someone else. And that was just very, very special and sweet to me, because when we're going through something, when we're in pain or just been through a storm and we're coming out of it, it is so easy to just get wrapped up in our lives and how we're feeling, our pain and different things like that. And you forget what other people may be going through, or what other people could possibly need, that gift that you have inside of you that you may not even be aware of, or feel like, that ain't really nothing. Okay, so what? I can say a few nice words, or I'm an encourager, or I'm this or that, and you just make light of that special gift inside of you. And I feel like the character here at the beginning of this film was in that place, because she has lost her parents recently, I guess, maybe some years ago, but I'm sure just the pain still feel like very present, like it just happened today. And I love that it starts off here at a cemetery, because I feel like now, like we don't hear about it, and you don't necessarily see people going to those places anymore, really honoring different lives, or celebrating different lives that are no longer here, and just allowing themselves to be vulnerable, whatever it takes to just open up and just get it off of you, instead of walking around with all of this stuff inside of you. So I love that this character Sidney is there, and just because it starts off there for us, it opens up a door for us to really empathize and sympathize with this character and get to know her in a very special way, because we can relate to that. We see, okay, a loss has happened, and you want to know more. Okay, what really took place? Where are you right now in this moment? And we get a little bit of that, and we are made aware of that Sidney is going for a special job that is connected to her mother, and she is determined to make this thing work. But also, it just opens a door to me thinking, because I haven't seen part 1, so I don't know if this character is in part 1. So I'm just talking. So forgive me, y'all, if y'all saw part 1, y'all feel like, okay, pull up, okay, they let us know in part 1. Go watch it, girl. I'm gonna try to make some time, but right now we here, okay? So anyway, so it opens up that door, and I'm like, okay, so what really happened, all right? Because I see that you're a grown woman, and you are going for this particular job. Where were you before? Like, where were you really working before? Like, it just feels like, all right, you want to fill in the gaps automatically as you're watching this character, because you feel for her and you want her to win. So you want to know a little bit more about her. And so that may be in part 1, I don't know, but I'm telling y'all, that's what I was thinking as I was watching the film. And so so here's the thing, y'all. Okay, so when she go for this interview, right? And yes, I'm staying away from spoilers. A lot of this you'll probably see in the trailer, so okay. But anyway, yeah, so she goes for this interview. This was so funny to see for me personally, because as I was my first time I listened to the scene, I wasn't even watching it. I had it playing in the background, so I heard the words. Then I went back and sat down before the screen and watched it, and to see her expression, to see her go for this job with such confidence, knowing that this is she got this thing in the bag. She know this is for her. This is what God got for her, and she's gonna make it happen. She's gonna make it happen. And I'm with you, because that's how you gotta go into any kind of interview or anything that you want in life. You gotta go knowing that it's for you. If anybody gonna believe in you, it gotta be you, okay? We know God is right there, but I'm talking about this. As far as any other human being, you gotta be your biggest cheerleader. So I'm there with Sidney in that interview. However, when you don't really see that really happen, I wish people would do that more, because then you don't have to worry about wasting your time. You don't know where you stand at. But when this guy who was like, offering her, well, he is the one like interviewing her and different things like that. in a position to hire her. When he say basically like he totally humbled her and kind of put her in her place, he was like, it's other qualified candidates, basically it's other people better than her, okay, that he could really choose from. And you say this to her in this interview. When you see her coming in there, she all like she got it together, but when he say that to her, let her know the reality of it, like, really, homegirl, it's a lot more people who we can hire that are way better, who are way more qualified, way more experienced. You can just see the expression on her face, like she totally just like her face just deflated, y'all. And it was such a real moment. I was just laugh at the same time. I felt bad for her, but it was so funny as well, because I'm just saying the actress did an amazing job. It was just like everything, all the wind was knocked out of her in that moment, and you just see it. You see the light just kind of dim in her eyes, and it was just it was funny, but it was also sad. Just imagine being in a situation like that, and then it just makes you wonder, do we really want people to be real with us? Like, seriously, we say that we want people to be honest and truthful and all of that, but do we really want it? Like, he told her in this moment basically the truth, okay? He ain't played a game with her, the wink of the eye, all of that. Yeah, I got you. Like, he ain't go through all of that with her. He let her know that there were other qualified candidates, and he basically told her, if she can get this job, y'all saw the trailer, based on one condition. So it just lets you know it's really nothing about you. There's nothing really special about you in that sense. And it's just like, and I had to come back to that question. Do we really want people to be real with us? I'm going to say at the end of the day, yes, I would prefer it, because you let me know so I ain't wasting my time. And it's just better than playing that little game, okay? We all grown. And so that moment, that scene just really, it had me, y'all. It made me really, really laugh. And since that's in the trailer, I feel like I can mention that, because still, this is a no spoiler review. So anyways, yes, getting back to all of this, how I felt, okay? I feel like this story was very, very realistic. I feel like it gave me some insight into that world of how people do recruit people, and I guess that can go for anything. Like, it can get downright dirty and grimy, even in the faith-based world, which he's showing us here. And I just felt like, wow, I just felt like I just got an eye-opener into a lot of different things that I may not even thought about. And I love the simplicity of this story, which reminds me that I feel like as filmmakers nowadays, and I'm not just talking about faith-based, but in general, they do too much. They just throw so much at the viewer just to have something to talk about, really. Just to make it like it's something, but it's really nothing. You're just throwing a bunch of stuff at us, and we feel like we're getting something. And here, and I love that this, who is name? Again, y'all, M. Legend Brown, there's a director here. I love that from watching numerous of his projects, I feel like he has that about him that is almost like a stamp on his work, his style in a sense, is that simplicity, just bringing these stories that are relatable, that we deal with on a regular basis, that we may sometimes, because it's so tedious, we may overlook. And he tends to bring this type of thing to the forefront with these very, very meaty characters, and it just makes the film so much more fulfilling. You felt like you sat down and you had a good home cooked meal. I mean, you had the collard greens, you had macaroni cheese, you had some fried chicken and tea, lemonade, whatever y'all you like, dear, just throw it in the pot, okay? Throw it at the table. He always seems to do that for me personally, and especially if you are from an urban community, especially if you're from the South, you really feel at home watching his films, because there's so many different little things as far as the way that the characters talk, and then you see the environment, the scenery, the southernness there, and it just makes you feel, like I said, at home. And I just love that. So that's like icing on the cake for me with that. And once again, I want to say again, I want to shine even more light on this, the simplicity of this story. You may be saying to yourself, well, that's it. Okay, it just seems like like that, because we're so used to so much just garbage and just so much junk out there. It's like eating a bunch of junk food. And so when you have a home cooked meal, you're like, it's different. You almost may not even appreciate it if you're so used to the junk all the time. And I feel like with this film and with all of his projects, they are like that. They are very home cooked. It took some time somebody standing over that stove, making preparation hours in advance. And we get all of this. You feel all of that throughout this film because it takes us on this journey. Sidney here, a lovely young woman who obviously is struggling with, number one, her desires, and also with God's desire. You know, what's that? Yeah, that verse, our desire versus God's desire here. And that's where we end up with purpose. And I feel like Sidney does discover that on this journey. Of course, we're not going to get into all the details. And Tamika here, the young girl who was supposed to be like 16 years old here, who would seem like she has it all together for her to be the age that she is. Definitely would seem like she's very, very mature for her age, graduating high school, all these different things being wanted for her gift and all of this stuff. And at the end of the day, what she wants more than anything is to be remembered for what God chose her and created her to do. And I just thought that that was such a beautiful message here, because it's so easy to get caught up in the glitz and the glamour and what other people find that is something. But who are you really? Who did God created you to be and created you to do? For real, for real. And this film makes us, it calls us to sit down with that, to have a discussion with the Lord, our God, and find out what it is. What is it you're supposed to be doing? Why are you here for such a time as this? Why? Okay. And I love that. I love when films call us to some sort of responsibility, open our eyes, challenges us, and this film does all of that for me, and I believe it would do all of that for you. And yes, I know I said a lot here, and I wanted to just really dive into the meat of this film in this review instead of really taking you on an actual journey, which you will go on when you watch the film. Just staying away from spoilers, but I do want to encourage you at the end of the day to definitely watch this film, since you already here, you already in the movie theater, okay, because it's streaming right now on YouTube, okay. And I am gonna leave a link there, or at least something there to direct you to the actual film in my description. And also I want to remind y'all to please let me know what y'all think about this film. Let the director know what y'all think about it, because people need to know, okay? We need to let them know that there is a desire, there is a need for more films like this. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into our scripture, which will be coming out of Proverbs. Let's see. Proverbs chapter 16 verse 9. It reads, "A man's heart plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps." So that's all I have for y'all for this video. Please remember to leave y'all thoughts, your prayers, your overall take in the comment section below, because I do read them all and I do enjoy hearing from you. And until next time, may the Lord bless and keep you both now and forevermore.